ynathemoodreader and welcome back to my channel. At maligayang buwan ng wika po sa ating lahat. Or in English, it's the Philippines National Language Month. So I'd like to greet my fellow kababayans there na maligayang buwan ng wika. Because of that, my TBR for August would be books written by Filipino authors, as I'm taking part in the Wikathon. And I have been mentioning this in my past few videos that Wikathon is a great project which is the brainchild of Kate from your TITA Kate, and she is also hosting this with fellow booktubers whose profiles I'll be linking down below and posting here as well. So I know I'm a day late. Wikathon already started yesterday and I've actually crossed off one of the prompts already, but I don't want to let this month go without sharing with you guys the books that I'll be reading, so somewhat my recommendations. And I do have a lot, so let's get on with my recommendations. Okay, so for the first prompt of the Wikathon, we have Filipino SF or science fiction and fantasy written by Filipino authors. You probably know by now what book I'll be choosing if you have watched the video where I unboxed this. So my first choice would be Tablay by Katrina F. Olan. If you want to know more about this book, I'll be linking my unboxing video and first impressions on Tablay here. But in case I have extra time to read, I'll be reading this one as well. Though it also fits the second prompt, which Filipino LGBTQ+. This also fits sci-fi, which is The Never Tilting World by Rin Chopeco. And I have received this book through Mermaid Crate, which is a Filipino subscription box. I know this is a little harder to accomplish for a readathon. Everybody I know has been raving about this book from Rin Chopeco, and also a sequel is coming up soon. So I think it's time to read this book. Wait, this book is actually about two sisters, I think. Yeah, two sisters broke the world and two sisters will save it. So yeah. And what I love about this book is I have a small note from Rin here. I think Mermaid Crate personalized all of this for everyone who bought the box at that time. So yeah, I also still kept my copy of Rin's letter and the other character cards featured in the Mermaid Crate box. Perhaps I'll show you that our swag in the review, or in my review of this book, in case I get to finish it in time for the Wikathon. So for the second prompt, we have Filipino LGBTQ+. And for that, I'll be reading Bagay Tayo by Jerry B. Gracio. And the author graciously gave out copies of this all for everyone in the internet, I think a few months back. And I saved my copy of this book. And that'll be a quick read, so I decided to also add another one. To be honest with you, I don't know anything about Bagay Tayo, but I'm excited about it because I saw this title in many of the other the TBRs of the other content creators. I also have Start Here from Romance Class, which is an anthology of meet-cutes by people in the LGBT community. So I think there are authors part of this anthology that are also part of the LGBTQ community. So yeah, I'm taking advantage of my Kindle Unlimited subscription since I just got this, and I saw that Start Here is part of a wide selection of romance class titles that can be read via Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, the third prompt is new to me, and if I could be honest with you guys, almost all Filipino authors are new to me. I haven't been able to grab copies of Filipino books. Okay, It just rained, so I hope you guys can still hear me, and I'll just be speaking louder to make the most of this time. Okay, so first I have been given a copy of Vampires of Portlandia through NetGalley of Espresso Book Tours, a blog tour company that I have been a part of for quite some time, and it's surprising to me that the author is Filipino. And I did the quick swiping of the ebook, and one of the first pages is the meaning of aswang. So yeah, that's exciting to me. It also fits the SFF prompt, and you know, we can interchange these titles a lot because most of the books fit different prompts. So for sure, I'll be able to complete this challenge, which is very exciting. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And also, I want to make the most of my Scribd subscription for audiobooks. I don't know how many audiobooks by Filipinos are available via Scribd, but I know that Erin and Rada Kelly's books are all available on audio. So I'll be listening to Hello Universe, You Go First, or the prompt New to Me as well. So I don't know much about those books, but I do know that I think it's targeted to the middle grade age group, and I think those would be easy reads for me. And yeah, I just want to also explore her books. I have been putting off listening to the audios of those titles, so it's the perfect time to explore that. Number 4, we have The Modern Pinoy, which is any book that has been set from 2000 onwards. And for that, I'm taking advantage again of my Kindle Unlimited subscription, and I'll be reading Romance Class books. And if you don't know yet, Romance Class is a group of Filipino authors, I think spearheaded by Miss Mina V. Esguerra, where they write about romance, different types of romance experienced by Filipinos, with actual Filipinos on the cover, which is amazing for me. My priority for this one is What Kind of Day, which is part of the 6 Central series, I think. And I started it a few months ago, and I had to stop reading to make sure that I'm on track on the blog tours I'm part of, and I really regret that because Mina V. Esguerra is one of my favorite authors ever since I was in high school, and those pop fiction books by Summit Books are one of the first books that I have bought through my own allowance. So yeah, and I remember my teachers would confiscate those books when I lent it to my classmates because we can't concentrate on class, we just want to read those romance books. So yeah, I would want to read What Kind of Day and Kiss and Cry, both by the author, because I have been given an arc of the 3rd installment of the series. So as you can see here, I have a few. I can only borrow up to 10 Romance Class titles. I mean, I can only borrow up to 10 books, any book from Kindle Unlimited. So these are the few books that I'm considering I have here. Fall Like Rain by Ana Tejano, No Two Ways by Chio Rodriguez, Make My Wish Come True, which is an anthology, Flipping the Script by Denise May Season, The Bye Bye Bouquet by Chio Rodriguez as well, and a few other Romance Class titles. So yeah, I can also read those books for The Stupid Love. Nang ma-in love ako sa'yo, yeah, that, The Stupid Love prompt. So but I have other books set for those prompts. Okay, so the 5th prompt is the Filipino Diaspora, which talks about Filipino authors that have migrated or working abroad, and I have a few options for that. Okay, so the first one is Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Ribay. I have bought this copy from MIBF 2019, and I haven't read it since then. I have been posting it on TBRs, and I have not been able to grab this book and actually read it. I hope finally through this readathon that I'll get to dive into Patron Saints of Nothing. Especially now in the political climate of the Philippines, I think it's time to get educated. And actually, this book is told, of course, in the eyes of someone who's not really here. And though that's not a more realistic approach, I think it will be enlightening to see what Filipinos living abroad are seeing on what's happening here in the Philippines. So yeah. I also have here Bone Talk by Candy Girly, and it's a gift that I received from my Bookish Secret Tita, the event organized by Shalea last December, from Nay. And she loves the author, and she was recommending also Tall Story, and she wasn't able to find a copy, so she grabbed this for me. So yeah, I'm excited to read this one. If in case I finish Patron Saints of Nothing earlier. And aside from this, I also have another book for the Filipino Diaspora, which is an arc that I received through NetGalley of Private Lessons by Cynthia Salaysay. I haven't actually seen much reviews about this book. I only know that it's about a girl, a student, and her piano teacher. So it's type of a power play and sexual assault, if I'm not mistaken. It's about the Me Too movement, so I guess it's really about harassment. And the author is Filipino living abroad, and I think the main character as well of the book is Filipino, so it would be enlightening to me to read about this author's debut novel. So yeah. And again, the sixth prompt, like I mentioned earlier, is Stupid Love. Cue the rap music here. And I have actually finished this prompt already. I read yesterday when the clock struck 12. I already started reading before I went to sleep. And the book that I chose is Songs to Your Beat by J.E. Tria, and that's the 5th installment of the playlist series. And yesterday until early today, Songs to Your Beat, which is about the drummer Nino, I'm not sure, of Train Man, and I really love J.E. Tria's writing, so I'm happy that I have a badge. Did you know that Wikathon just posted that you can get badges? And yeah, for the first day of the Wikathon, I was able to check Stupid Love achievement, and yeah, how appropriate. So yeah, I because I'm a fan of romance, I'm sure I will be filled with Filipino romances as I would dive into more romance class books. And yeah, because I have checked that prompt already, I still want to squeeze in another, which is, like I mentioned, the 3rd installment of the 6th Central series, and that's So Forward. I received an arc of this book from the author Mina V.S. Guerra, and I'll be reading that within the month as well. And the 7th prompt is Sariling Wika, which is any Filipino book that is written in Tagalog, in Filipino, or in any Filipino dialect. And I have this 4 books here from the Janus Silang series, Janus Silang by Mr. Edgar Calabia Samar. And as you can see, this is an award-winning series, and I know it's also highly recommended by one of the hosts, GERALD the Bookworm. He really loves this, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to read the 4 books, especially as it gets thicker as we progress into the series, but I would want to finish the first 2 books. I know the author, My Heart. I have been seeing tweets that he's been killing off characters. Sorry if I'm spoiling you, but it's all over Twitter. He loves hurting his readers, so yeah. But it's an adventure. I think it's also very, it's young adult. I'm not sure if it's middle grade or for mature young adult audiences, but it's been a while since I read a Tagalog book or a Filipino book that's not in Wattpad and not a Filipino romance. So yeah. Oops, I forgot. It's also for the Stupid Love prompt, rewind to number 6 prompt. I also have Bola Bola by Anna Heronga or Geronga. And it's also a gift that I received from Bookish Secret TITA, also published by Anvil. And it's very bagay. It matches me well because Bola Bola is Siopaw. And I think the character here is a plus-sized girl like me, and I also was called Siopaw all throughout high school. So, and this is a romance book that has here at the back, what happens when you fall in love with your kuya's best friend, which is a common trope in romance books, and I would like to see how this author explores this. So this is about food, romance, and I guess family. So yeah. Lastly, we have Host's Choice, which is a pick or a recommendation from one of the creators of the Wikathon. It's about this well, and I decided to go with Tita Kate's common recommendations, which is The Wolf of Oreñaro by K.S. Villoso, which also has a read-along. I think it's called the Bitch Readathon, also hosted by Kate, and Ignite the Stars by Maura Millan, which is also recommended by Kate. I think the second book of the series, Eclipse the Skies, is on her TBR for the Wikathon. So I'll be reading along with the schedule of the Bitch Readathon for this, and I think we only have the first 7 chapters as an assignment, or the goal for the first week of August is to read the first 7 chapters of this. And I just want to dive into The Wolf of Oreñaro, since the sequel, the Ikasar Falcon, is up for publishing soon. So yeah. By the way, I received this arc from Caffeine Book Tours. It's the first physical arc I received as a part of the Bookish community. So yeah, as you can see, I have lots of tabs there. And yeah, so it's nice to come back to this read before I read the sequel. And this one, I have held this in my hand a couple times already here on BookTube, and it was part of my July TBR as picked by Munchie, my dog. You can watch the video here or here. And I wasn't able to pick this because of work and stuff. And yeah, I hope I'll be able to pursue reading here in August, because I only have a few blog tours I'll be participating on. So I think I only have 2. And I have more time to really dive into the Filipino reads and commit to the Wikathon as promised. Yeah, so that's it. Those are the books that I plan on reading for the Wikathon. I have a few titles here way above the 8 prompts set by the host of the Wikathon, but I think since with the reading rush, I was able to read 6 books a week. Most probably, I'll get the hang of this. And most of these books are really short, especially the romance class books. So I'm very hopeful, fingers crossed, that I'll check off everything on the list as challenged by the creators of the Readathon. And if you're joining the Wikathon, please do link down below your TBR video or your Instagram post or your tweets, so I can also see your bookish recommendations and what you've been enjoying so far. And I'd really love more recommendations of Filipino authors, because I think they are underrated. They need more boosting and promotions, and let's do everything we can to support them. Yeah, so thank you for watching this video, and if you have stayed here until the end, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, and click the bell button beside that so that you'll get notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Wikathon! Bye!